On April 26, 1871, the trustees of the First Baptist Church of Rochester moved and passed the following motion: resolved that the trustees be authorized and directed to execute to the organization known as the Lake Avenue Memorial Baptist Church and Society of Rochester a quit-claim deed of the property known as the Memorial Mission belonging to the church and society when they have been duly recognized according to the usage of the denomination. On July 19, 1882, the trustee minutes report that the pastor was empowered to appoint a selection committee of 3 to make a special canvass for the purpose of raising the funds of $26,000, the estimated expense for the erection of our contemplated church. And it was then on 18/16/1882 that the committee had raised $17,445, of which $11,000 was set aside to build the rear portion of the new church edifice. A building committee was elected, and the rear portion would be built behind the mission chapel. It is here that we see a picture of the building taken from what is now Fulton Street. It is here that we see the picture of the building taken from the Ambrose Street side. It was on March 2, 1884, that the Lake Avenue Baptist Church Sunday School held a farewell service, indicating the move from the Mission Chapel into the rear building having been recently completed. On May 27, 1884, the trustees moved and seconded that the brick chapel be donated to the Rochester Baptist Missionary Union for church purposes, providing it be erected on or near Lyell Avenue. And it was in 1884 that the chapel was dismantled brick by brick and moved to Cameron Street and rebuilt as a mission church to start that which has become the Lyell Avenue Baptist Church. The building that you see here might be familiar to many of you because it now serves as the home base of Cameron Community Ministries. On September 21, 1888, the object of a special meeting of the trustees was the new church building. It was revealed that the deed transferring the Sage property to First Baptist contained a clause that forbade placing a mortgage on the property. The solution was to engage legal counsel to obtain a quick deed from each of the Sage heirs. Just a couple of months later, the trustees dropped the issue of a new building due to the lack of pledges for the project. On November 2, 1889, all funds for the new church building had been raised, so the trustees declared, "When we build the front of the church, all funds received shall be called the A.J. Barrett Memorial Fund, and that we begin to build this church ground to be broken as soon as the frost is out of the spring, and it shall be completed before the snow flies in the fall." Here you see the new church building during the day, and here is the new church building at night. It was on February 10, 1891, that the new church building was finally dedicated. We are blessed to hold a variety of pictures of that church building, here from the Jones Street side. And inside, you'll see the church sanctuary with the chancel in the southwest corner, and the auditorium entrance and the gallery in the northeast corner. In that day, the Sunday school was an entirely separate entity within the church. They collected their own offerings, managed their budgets, had elected officers and constitutions. Note that in the balcony there are rods with curtains behind the pillars, which would be pulled to divide the space into classrooms usually used for adult classes. Sunday school began in the Sunday school chapel with an opening exercise which included the children. They then broke into separate classes but would return to the chapel for closing exercises before dismissal. Keeping stomachs full was food prepared in the church kitchen, then located in the basement. And bodies were kept warm by the janitor and others in the boiler room stoking the fire. January 28, 1896, a meeting was called to discuss and recommend that the church improve the gallery. It would cost $4,500. By just the next day, the church had raised $6,500. There was discussion to review the plans, and then it was built. And by September 20th, a service was held for the enlarged auditorium. If all of these things happened in just 30 short years, imagine what is to come.